people? What's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream, and welcome back to more deadline day madness. Big up to everyone that's already locked in. Make sure you're smashing up the like, subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. I said I'll be back a little bit later on, but stuff has happened. Nicolas Jackson to Bayern Munich is here we go once again. This time there's reportedly an obligation in the deal. We're going to dive into all those details. Tyrique George has joined Fulham for £22 million. And some reports are suggesting that Chelsea are going to be looking at Santiago Gimenez. Are we going to bring someone else in as a striker, or is it going to be Mark Guiu and that's our lot? Obviously, we've announced the Buonanotte loan deal as well since we last finished up, probably only a couple of hours ago, chat. So, yeah, things are moving fast. A lot's happening, but I think if we're going to be brutally honest, I don't think we're seeing any other... I don't think we can see any other strikers coming in my personal opinion. You know, we get Jackson out, good loan with an obligation. Not sure what the obligation, you know, if there's any, criteria to the obligation. Anyway, we'll wait and see. We will wait and see, chat. We'll wait and see. But big up to everyone that's locked in. Get involved in the chat, guys. Smash up the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You don't know exactly what to do. But before we dive into the show, guys, a quick reminder as always, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Make sure you're looking fresh for the upcoming season. In the home shirt, away shirt, third kit, names, numbers, patches, whatever you want on the back. Great quality, affordable prices. Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. You don't want to miss out, guys. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's get to it. Deadline day. More madness to dive into. Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat. Surely we sign a striker. Brother, I don't think we do. Guiu striker does not excite me. No, I don't think it excites anyone. Yeah, look, we're going to get into this, but it's very impressive. Bro, I don't think we do. I don't think we do get someone in. What else have we got? Guys, is it true we're in talks with Interful Bastoni? No, it's not true. Get me Boniface on loan. No, Boniface is gone to Werder Bremen, I think, on loan. Or Wolfsburg, one of the two. But yeah, Buonanotte done. We're not going to get Jorginho Rutter, no. Jamie Vardy on loan. Well, considering he's a free agent, there is no loan, and he's just signed for Cremonense, so none of that's happening. Owners are back on cocaine again. It's such a massive shithousery and absolute shambles end to the window. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I am. We're going to get into it in a sec. Anyway, let's dive into it. Nicolas Jackson. We were talking about it earlier on. We weren't sure whether we were going to get obligation, option, whatever it might be. It's here we go again. So breaking. Bayern Munich and Chelsea seal new agreement for Nicolas Jackson. Deal done. Loan and buy clause with new elements of obligation to buy included in the deal for 2026 as Chelsea wanted. Jackson's already agreed a 5-year deal at Bayern Munich. €16.5 million loan fee. So there's a few things that have changed in terms of the finances. Let me just bring the final finances of this deal up. Because in fairness, it's an impressive fee. It makes you think, why couldn't Bayern Munich just do this in the first place? Why couldn't they have just done it in the first place? You know, it would have made more sense for them to just do that in the first place, rather than, you know, messing about with this loan with an option, then the deal's off, then it's back on. We could have saved all that. And then these are supposedly the final details of the deal. It's a very good deal, no doubt about it. So Chelsea have agreed a new deal with Bayern Munich for Nicolas Jackson. Loan fee of 14.2 million with obligation to buy for a further 56.2, making total deal worth just under £70.5 million. Look, I think I've been very critical of this ownership and these directors in the past and for whatnot, but I always give credit where it's due. And this does deserve a little round of applause. It does deserve, you know, praise. because it's an exceptional fee. It is an exceptional fee. There's absolutely no denying it. £70.5 million or 70 million quid. Let's call it 70 million quid. 70 million for Nicolas Jackson, considering 2 years ago we signed him for £32 million, is a brilliant, brilliant deal. And it's a brilliant piece of business. However, I must caveat this. I must caveat it. Although it's an impressive deal, and I've given credit, especially for being able to renegotiate an obligation, and I'm sure like many others do, still feel we are short in the striker position for however long Liam Delap is out for. We don't know how long Delap's out for yet, but I still feel we are short in that position. It's easy to say that Pedro can just play as a 9, but he's been doing really well in that number 10 position at this current point in time. And, you know, we don't know how long Cole Palmer's going to be out for. We don't know how long Liam Delap's going to be out for. But the fact that we've managed to get £70 million for Nico Jackson is brilliant. But, you know, it's problematic. It's problematic because if Delap is out for 8 weeks, say he's out for 8 weeks, really, you're looking at 10 because it's going to take him a couple of weeks to get back up to speed and to bed him back in to bed him back into the situation. So I think we can really be saying goodbye to Delap for best part of 8 to 10 weeks. Even if it's better than first feared, let's say it's 6 weeks at the lesser end of the initial prognosis, then you're still looking at 2 months until he's back up to full speed. In that time, you're putting a lot of pressure on Joao Pedro and a significant reliance on Joao Pedro to lead the line or to play that number 10 role. And then you're going to have to play Pedro in the 9. Are you really going to play Mark Guiu in the 9 with Joao Pedro in the 10? This is a Mark Guiu who wasn't even starting for Sunderland. This is a Mark Guiu that played in the 3 league games so far, played 13 minutes. You know, is that suddenly the answer? Is that suddenly the answer? I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. You know, it's a good bit of business. This, you know, it's a fee, similar sort of fee to Sesko, Voltemada, Ekatike, similar fees to those players, which he absolutely should be going for. However, yes, it's a good piece of business, but it's a piece of business that is one injury. That is one injury away from looking reckless, from looking reckless, from looking short-sighted. It is one piece of business away from looking a bit techie for us. You know, one injury away from it being crap. So yeah, it's a very, very fine margin. It's a very fine margin, bro. The whole point is that this guy, Mark Guiu, could be a very good player. Could be good. Right now, he's not ready for what he might be asked to be having to do at Chelsea. He went to Sunderland briefly. Obviously, he's back now, as we know. The guy was third choice at Sunderland. He was third choice at Sunderland. He started the League Cup game and he played 13 minutes, 3 minutes across the 3 Premier League games so far this season. So how is this guy who can't even start for Sunderland suddenly the answer for Chelsea? He's not. And I'm just hoping maybe there's some sort of plan for someone else. I don't know. I don't know. But look, the numbers of this are very impressive. I'm very surprised that after just 2 years, Nico Jackson is moving on. It's a shame how it worked out. Oh, God, here we go. I knew this was too good to be true. I knew this was too good to be true. Nicolas Jackson obligation will only come into effect if he plays a very high number of appearances next season. You must be joking. You must be joking. This is coming from German publication Bild. Now, people can say what they want to say about Bild, but it's clear that they are obviously very reliable when it comes to things in Germany. When it comes to things in Germany, they're very, very reliable. And I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about that. So it is an obligation, but it seems like it's a high number of appearances to trigger it. So let's not count our chickens just yet on this one, guys. Great deal, but we know what Bayern Munich are like. They took Joao Cancelo on loan, didn't sign him permanently. They took Philippe Coutinho on loan, didn't sign him permanently. And now they're taking Nicolas Jackson, and let's just wait and see. We don't know what the amount of appearances is. I'm trying to see if anything's coming out that's giving any idea to what this high number of appearances might be. And I'm not too sure right now if there's anything that's saying that. Yeah, and again, look, it's also confirmed here. This is an option for it to become permanent, basically. Fabrizio Romano also confirms it's a loan with an option to buy and an element of an obligation to buy as a possibility for 2026. So there's not even an obligation. So this is not even a guaranteed obligation. You know, it's not even a guaranteed obligation by the sounds of it. So just watch these joke men. Let's just watch these joke men at Bayern. When it gets near the appearances, this guy suddenly doesn't play. That this guy suddenly doesn't play. So maybe this deal is not quite as good as I first thought it was. Yeah, this is confusing. I wonder how many high is. Is that 30? Is that 40? Is that 50 appearances? What is it? I'll get onto that in a sec. Yeah, Frenzy, I'll be honest, bro. Never say never with Chelsea in the window. I'd be very surprised. I'll be very, very surprised. No, bro, Strand Larsen's not coming. Strand Larsen isn't coming. So, look, let's wait and see what happens. You can guarantee that Nico Jackson will probably score against us in the Champions League game in September. I think that's almost nailed on. That will happen. But yeah, we will see. We will see. I would just be. Let's just hold this in mind, chat. That there's a very real possibility that if this is true about having to play a high number of games for this to be an obligation, then I wouldn't count our chickens just yet on this being a done and dusted. Yeah, he can, bro, because it's not the same league. If it's another league, it's irrelevant. That rule only applies in the Premier League. That only seems to be a thing in the Premier League. Everywhere else, that's not a thing. Everywhere else, that isn't a thing. Chat, by the way, we're 277 in the building, only 53 likes. Keep smashing that like button. Get this up over 100 likes as quickly as possible, guys. Run it up, run it up, run it up. So yeah, smash these likes, guys, and yeah, keep subscribing if you're new around here. What do you mean it's not true? What do you mean it's not true? Jackson's going to Bayern Munich. He will be a Bayern Munich player this season. Whether he is a Bayern Munich player beyond this season remains to be seen. But he will be a Bayern Munich player this season. That is done. That is absolutely done. It's just a case of now, what's it going to be? It's not, the obligation's not guaranteed. The obligation isn't guaranteed. It will become an obligation if a certain amount of appearances are hit. Now, there's nothing, I can't find anything yet that is saying what those, what that number of appearances might be. There's nothing to say what it might be just yet. Nothing really being said right now. But yeah, we'll wait and see, chat. We'll wait and see. But that's the big news. That's the big news. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree on that as well. I'd be stunned if anyone came in last minute. I really would be. You're talking of 3 hours right now. So you're talking of something really needing to happen in the next hour minimum. Something needs to happen in the next hour for anything really to be considered seriously. Of anything potentially happening. You're looking at something in the next hour. That's looking very, very unlikely. You know, he's here in Germany. Yeah, no, he didn't leave Germany. He's still there. No, bro, I'm pretty sure he can. I'm pretty sure Jackson can play against us. I'm pretty sure he can. Unless they negotiated it in a deal that he can't, I think he very much will be. No, it's not. It won't be as something as simplistic as that. It's going to be linked to appearances. That's what's being reported. But Nico Jackson, I knew there was a reason that Mark Guiu was going to be recalled. I knew there was a reason that Guiu was recalled, and that's because we were probably looking at. We were probably thought that the Jackson deal could still happen. Probably thought the Jackson deal could still happen. Yeah, again, all the reporters from Germany and Fabrizio are saying obligation if certain conditions are met. All we can do now is hope the conditions are met, chat. Anyway, yeah, I think it could well be a quiet end to the window now that this is done. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. Yeah, there's no. I don't know why people are saying he can't play. Of course he can play. No, bro, that's not going to happen in 3 hours. That's not going to happen. No chance of that happening in 3 hours. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be pessimistic about this or come across or be told that I'm being negative, but that's my big fear. That's my big fear is that if it gets anywhere near that number, we're going to be in a situation where we see them suddenly stop playing Jackson. So we'll see. But yeah, the Nico Jackson thing is done and dusted. Done and dusted. Let's move away from Nico Jackson because there was a report from DiMarzio saying that Chelsea are considering a move for Santi Gimenez. But as soon as I saw that, that was then completely shut down. We're talking about potential late deals for a striker. I don't know. I don't know who. Yeah, Jackson will be going to AFCON in December. Yeah, he will be. I don't know who we can end up getting. I really don't know who we're going to end up getting. But yeah, I think Gimenez to Roma was going to be some sort of swap deal with Artem Dovbyk. I don't know if that's gone through or anything like that. But I think that was going to be a swap with Artem Dovbyk. So yeah, that's the latest on that one. That's the latest on that one. But yeah, interesting. I mean, let's see what's this saying. A Spanish report, is it saying about? Yeah. Okay. So nothing there. Yeah. In terms of a striker, this Gimenez not happening. That's shut down very, very quickly. You're then looking at. I mean, Conrad Harder was explored. I mean, apparently that move to. Basically, there's it becomes an obligation if a certain amount of appearances are made. That's when it becomes an obligation, chat. That's when it becomes an obligation. That's when it becomes an obligation. Bro, Gimenez was very good at Feyenoord, went to AC Milan, and then they already look like they're shipping him out. I'm not really too sure what's going on there. I don't know what's going on there. So yeah, look, the Conrad Harder deal, by the way, hasn't fully gone through yet at RB Leipzig. I mean, we couldn't, could we? We couldn't potentially be planning for Conrad Harder. Conrad Harder, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be a strange one. It's going to be a strange one. Yeah, of course. And this is the risk that you take when an obligation's not iron tight. There's absolutely a chance on of Jackson coming back next summer. So yeah, look, it's done. No problem. All I'm saying is, it's just I wouldn't trust Bayern Munich to play him in the amount of games that it's going to take for the obligation, unless it's like 30 games, in which case I could easily see him playing 30 games. But if it's more than that, then we'll wait and see. We know that Bayern do spend money, but I just got a hard feeling that it's going to be. It could be we could be seeing him next summer and going through a similar sort of situation again. Yeah, if Kane gets injured, they have to agree. I'm not saying that Jackson's not going to play, by the way. He will play. But it would be good if we could find out how many appearances this needs to be in order for it to become a thing. But anyway, that's enough about that. Gimenez, no, that's been chalked off. In terms of anyone else, Conrad Harder was spoken about yesterday. Chelsea did make some inquiries. I don't believe that's going to be the case. Even though that move to Leipzig seems to have been is on hold or has been held up slightly, I can't see it happening. I cannot see it happening, chat. I think we're done. I think we're done in terms of incomings even. I think we're done in terms of incomings. Bro, this is not my sources. I'm just giving an opinion. I'm giving an opinion. Yeah, look, no, yeah, look, Jackson's viewed as a versatile option at Bayern Munich. He's viewed as cover across the front line. So yeah, we see. We wait and see, guys. We wait and see. Buonanotte has also been announced, by the way. Buonanotte has also been announced. Let's bring that up quickly. Facundo Buonanotte was announced by Chelsea Football Club. Let me just get these pictures up now. Facundo Buonanotte. So that he's been announced. Season loan, no option, no buy option in the deal. Season long loan, no buy option in the deal. And we've got matching rights. We've got matching rights on a potential deal. So we can match any offers that come in for Buonanotte next summer if we wish to do so. My issue with this, right, and I hope Buonanotte proves me wrong. I hope he proves me wrong. He's got a massive opportunity right now, a huge opportunity. He's clearly a talented boy. He's been capped a couple of times by Argentina. But this is a guy that is not a first team player at Brighton, wasn't a first team regular at Leicester City last season, and now is reportedly the answer. And we don't help ourselves when we brief that he's an alternative to Xavi Simons. This guy made 35 appearances for Leicester last season in all comps. 14 of those 35 appearances were starts. So he didn't even start half the games he appeared in. We just got to call this what it is. It's a body. It's a body. That's all it is. All it is a body. You know, it's point. This is totally pointless. If there's no buy option, there's no nothing. So I want the kid to do. I want every player to do well that signs with Chelsea. But I just don't. I just don't understand it. I just don't see how often this guy's going to play. I just don't understand. I just don't get how often he's going to play. I don't see him playing. I hope he's good, and I hope he gets opportunities to play. All I'm saying is, when everyone's fit, he doesn't get a look in. When everyone's fit, he doesn't get a look in. Even now, he doesn't really get a look in. But look, I hope he plays, and I hope he does well. No, the point is that there's no options. There's no permanency to the deal at all. There's no option to it. It just doesn't really make sense. Yeah, matching option is it. We can. I know what that is, but that's not an option to buy. That's literally saying that we can match the option if we want to. Well, let's see. I want him to do well. All I'm saying is I just don't really understand this signing. And when you go from thinking you're getting Xavi Simons to ending up getting a Brighton reserve, it's very underwhelming. It's very, very underwhelming. And I would agree with this to a certain extent. You know, there are three backup options in the number 10 before, well, I'd say two. I wouldn't say Andre Santos, but I get what you're saying. But Joao Pedro and Esteban are better options in the number 10 for me than Buonanotte would be. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. He's not better than Xavi Simons. It's okay to say that he's not better than Xavi Simons, guys. We don't need to do this copium where, because we didn't get Simons, we now have to pretend that Buonanotte is better than Simons. We don't need to do that. I totally disagree with you. That's your opinion. That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. But I couldn't disagree less. You know, but let's just be honest about things, guys. Buonanotte is not a better footballer than Xavi Simons. Let's just be perfectly honest here. Yeah, Liverpool with Mark Guehi and Isak, league is cooked. The league's cooked. We know it's cooked. No, I don't think that at all. I don't think that at all. But let's just be honest here. You know, this is a guy that wasn't a regular starter at Leicester City, and this is a guy that's a backup at Brighton. And yet I've got people in the chat telling me he's better than Xavi Simons. You know, Simons is done now. It's done and dusted. For whatever reason, we made no offer. It's finished. It's done. But let's not do this copium that suddenly the player we've signed is better than Simons to make ourselves feel better. By the way, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I don't think he's crap at all. All I'm saying is I just don't see him making a significant contribution at Chelsea this season. And it doesn't really make much sense. That's all. And there's nothing more than that. It's really not that deep. I just don't think it's a particularly good deal. I don't get it. That's all. And if I want him more than anything. Please come in. Please do well. I just don't see him playing much. Yeah, he'll play League Cup. He'll play FA Cup. He might start the odd Premier League game there. But other than that, I don't see him featuring. Yeah, of course he can. Simons would start way more games for Chelsea than Buonanotte would. But it's irrelevant because he's not here. He could easily start. He could easily start. He'd start way more than Buonanotte. This idea that people think Simons wouldn't play that much for Chelsea is mental. But anyway, we're done with this. We're done with this. Simons, he's gone. He's not here. Buonanotte's here. He's going to provide cover in the 10. Can also play on the right wing. Welcome, brother. Let's hope you get a good opportunity. Let's hope you get a decent amount of opportunities to play, and let's hope that you can prove the people wrong. Let's hope you can prove the people wrong. No, I don't at all. I don't at all. My main thing is it's just underwhelming when you go from being told you think you're getting a very good player and you end up with a loanee from Brighton. That's all. Anyway, we're going to move away from that because someone else has left the football club as well. Someone else has left the football club. Because that is Mr. Tyrique George. We thought he was going Roma. Obviously, yeah, the deal earlier today we were talking about it, the deal was off. The deal was off earlier, and now it's back on. It's back on. Well, sorry, not back on. It's fully on and it's done. Tyrique George is gone. He's joining Fulham, surprisingly. Where is that? Here it is here. And I think it's a fair deal. I think it's a fair deal. So, Fulham strike agreement with Chelsea to sign Tyrique George. Deal for the 19-year-old winger worth a £22 million package and sell-on clause. Personal terms in place on a 5-year contract, and the England Youth International has been given permission by Chelsea to do his Fulham medical. 22 million and a sell-on clause. I think that's a pretty good. I think that's a pretty good deal. I think that's a pretty good deal. I think it's a pretty good deal. I think 22 million is more than fair for a promising player with limited, very, very limited Premier League experience. And I think it's a good business all round there. You get a sell-on clause as well, which you'll benefit from down the line. George wasn't going to play at Chelsea this season. We know that. And this suits all parties really well. This suits good parties really well. All parties involved, we get a decent fee. It's pure profit. And there we are. We'll always be grateful for Fulham away. We'll always be grateful for Fulham away. Fulham away was mad. It was mad. Only Gyu till Jan is mad. Again, we don't know. But bro, who's saying that? Oh, we're not doing this Aaron Ramiro guy. He's been wrong about so much stuff. I'd be shocked. I'd be stunned. I'd be stunned. I'd be absolutely stunned. I'd be stunned, chat. I really would be. Yeah, it's a good piece of business. It's a good piece of business. No, that's not true. That Aaron Ramiro guy is bullshitting. 100% he's bullshitting. I've got no problem calling that out. He's absolutely bullshitting there. 100%. Chat, with 300 in the building. Smash that like button. Let's get this up to 200 likes. We're not a million miles away now. So keep smashing the like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do. And smash up the subscribe button as well. Let's keep it pushing, chat. Let's keep it stepping. This could well be the final stream of the summer window, which is mad. It's mad, actually, that. This is going to be the final stream of the summer window, chat. Mental. Absolutely mental. Literally, in 2 hours, 45 minutes, the transfer window's closed. I'm not staying live till 7 p.m., by the way, just to let everyone know. But yeah, it's... Well, yeah. This is the last one, chat, of the summer. The last one of the summer is mental. But yeah, smash up these likes, people, and subscribe. No, he's not going to play very much. He's not going to play very much. Yeah, outgoings for sure. No. Fermin Lopez is already that was off. That was confirmed off. We talked about that this morning. That's done. That's definitely done. 100% done. As a super chat that's come in. No, thanks for that. Go get myself a Mirinda. Your head's on Mars. Okay. Well, thank you for that. No, look, he'll be given a chance, and we have to give him a chance. We've got no choice. But I think it's just unfair on us to put him in that position. It's unfair on us to put him in that position. You know, it really is very unfair. I don't know what, because Maresca wasn't keen on Guiu last season. He wasn't keen on him last season. We know that. Guiu made what? 2 Premier League appearances, maybe 3. 2 Premier appearances, one on deadline, no, 3 Premier League appearances he made. 1 against Man City, first game of the season. Then he didn't play in the league until the draw against Crystal Palace in January. And then he played against West Ham on deadline day in January and got injured. He's literally made 3 sub appearances in the Premier League. 3 sub appearances in the Premier League. And so we'll see. We'll see. I wonder if Maresca will use him. I wonder if he'll use him. That's not true. That is not true. That simply isn't true. That was a club decision. That wasn't a manager system decision. That wasn't a manager decision. But if you want to think it was a manager decision, no problem. But it absolutely was not a managerial decision. That was a club decision. Yeah, because Jackson was doing terribly and we had no one else. We had no one else. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's very well documented that that was the case. Very well documented that was the case. But, bro, you can believe whatever you want to believe. What else is going on? Right, so that's Tyrique George gone. You know, pure profit on the books. Thank you for your service. Good fee for a player that wasn't going to play. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. What else is going on in terms of what else are we looking at in terms of other deals? Axel Disasi, chap. Axel Disasi. I swear I saw somewhere saying that Disasi was going to West Ham. Where did I see that? Oh, yeah, it was here. I mean, no one seems to want Disasi. So now West Ham have asked about a loan for Axel Disasi. Bournemouth aren't interested anymore. There was reported interest from Wolves. That's not going anywhere. Disasi is just being passed around. He's just being passed around, is Disasi. Obviously, there are still other windows open beyond today. There are still other windows open beyond today. We've still got the Saudi window is open until the 10th. Saudi window closes on the 10th, and the Turkish window is also open, I think, until the 12th. So Turkey and Saudi Arabia are still open after 7 p.m. today. So just because if Disasi doesn't go by 7, it doesn't mean that we're stuck with him. It doesn't mean that we're stuck with him. What it does mean is that we're then down to... What it does mean is we're then down to Saudi or Turkey. Because he's not available. He's not available. That's why. He's not available, guys. It's very simple, this. He isn't available. There's no international loans left, so it has to be permanent. If it's outside of England, it has to be permanent. Bro, we're not going for Tony because he's not available. Tony's not available. Aston Villa, and we're obviously not going to. We're simply not going to say that Disasi and Sterling, by the way, are going to be pure stress. They're going to be so stressful to get rid of, guys. Yeah, a Tony loan would be great. It would be great, but it's not happening. Paqueta not happening either. There was inquiries from Aston Villa. Paqueta's going to stay at West Ham for at least one more season. At least one more season. So yeah, he's spending at least one more season at West Ham, and then he's gone. Chat, do we think we can get this done? Do we think we can get this done? Disasi, Sterling, and Chilwell as well. Let's wait and see. Yeah, Disasi to Bournemouth is off. Yeah. No, I've not seen it back yet. I've not seen it back, but I've heard that he did well, and it's a decent start. So yeah, that can be that's very promising. Disasi to Bournemouth is off. Was Disasi to Bournemouth ever on? Was Disasi to Bournemouth ever on, guys? I don't think it was. Yeah, this is definitely true now, because now it's being confirmed by reporters outside of Germany as well. It's an obligation with a minimum amount of appearances. Through a minimum number of appearances. So yeah, it only becomes... So yeah, it's confirmed option that becomes an obligation for a certain amount of appearances. I would say so. I would say yes. I would say yes. Yeah, I think that's absolutely the case. I think that's absolutely the case. It's absolutely the case. I think the same as well, depending on that number. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. No, this is what you don't understand. So let me try and explain. We're short up front. We're one injury away from Mark Guiu being our main number 9. One injury away from Guiu being number 9. And that's why people are annoyed. That's why people are disappointed, because once again, despite doing some good work and strengthening the positions and improving the squad in certain areas, which we have, the whole window is not a disaster. Absolutely not. But the fact that we're finishing another window, the fact we're finishing another window with being short in key areas again is really disappointing. Who's talking about 4 strikers? We're not having 4 strikers. We're not having 4 strikers. Yeah, and there's that as well. I mean, Pedro's been cooking in the 10 for the last 2 games. You know, Pedro's been cooking in the 10. And all I'm saying is not good squad planning to be 1 injury away from being fucked in a key position. That's not good squad planning. People can say whatever they want to say. It's not good squad planning. Yeah, who are the 4 strikers? This is what. Please tell me who the 4 strikers are. Because Delap's injured right now. We don't know how long. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. You've got Joao Pedro and you've got Mark Guiu, who could barely get a game for Sunderland in the first 3. We're short up front. There's just no denying it. I don't understand how anyone can possibly argue against the fact that we're short up top. We are short up front. The window's not been terrible. We've done some good work this window. I like a lot of the stuff that we've done this window. We've done a lot of good work this window. However, I cannot understand anyone that doesn't think we're short up top. Bro, we're short because because Delap's injured right now. We're very short at centre forward and we're very short at centre back. I just think it's poor planning. I think it's poor planning, in my personal opinion. People can disagree, and that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. Bro, you don't even know when Delap's back. You're just saying he's back in November. All right, cool. He's back in November. What happens if Pedro gets injured and we've got Mark Guiu as our main striker who didn't even start for Sunderland? So there we are. I don't think it's been an awful window by any stretch. I've never said it's been a bad window. All I'm saying is it's a disappointing finish to the window. Is that an outrageous thing to say? It's a disappointing end to the window. Is that such a terrible thing to say? I really don't think it is. I think it's been a good window. But once again, we are short in key areas. Why does this keep happening, chat? Is what I'd like to know. Why are we once again short in key areas, finishing another window? Another window's coming to an end, and we're short in key areas again. Right now, we've got Joao Pedro, who's basically a 9.5. The only available out and out number 9 is Mark Guiu right now. The only available number 9 we've got is Mark Guiu as an out and out 9. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. But at the moment, there's no movement on Disasi, and there's still no movement on Raheem Sterling either. Still no movement on Raheem Sterling, guys. Fulham were supposedly revived talks. Now they've signed Tyrique George. Are Fulham going to do us a double favour? Are Fulham going to do us a double favour? Is he going to do us a favour? Felix also didn't want to be here. He didn't want to be here. So yeah, look, are Fulham going to do us a double favour on Sterling? I think not. I think not. I mean, we could do a lot worse than that. We could do a lot worse than that. Exactly. This is exactly it. And the point is that we put ourselves in this situation. We should never have been in a situation where an injury to one player puts us into a panic mode. And that's exactly what happened. Delap went down, we panicked, and the squad wasn't prepared for it. The squad was not prepared for it. The squad wasn't prepared. And this is the issue. Oh yeah, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything about that. I'm not bothered about. We're absolutely good enough. Of course, we're more than good enough to finish in the Champions League places with the squad that we've got. But we should be aspiring for more than that. We should be aspiring for more than that. We should be looking to close the gap on the teams above us. We should be looking to close the gap on the teams above us. And it doesn't look like the gap's closed at the moment. It doesn't look like the gap is closing. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't look like the gap's closing. That's all. But look, we'll wait and see. We will wait and see. We should absolutely be competing. No, but you should. No, but the point is, when you're planning, you should be thinking worst case scenario. We should be thinking worst case scenario. It's at least that's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum we could do as recall Gio. The bare minimum. But we're short. Yeah, but that's a big if. No one knows when Delap's returning. No one knows when he's returning. So yeah, that's the tricky thing. That's the tricky thing. No one knows when he's back. Hopefully, it is just if he's out for 8 weeks, then it's 10 weeks until he's going to be fit and playing again. If we're brutally honest, it'll take him a couple of weeks on top of the 8 weeks that he's out to get himself sort of back fit and firing again. So this is really, if it's 8 weeks, we're looking at being without Delap for 10 weeks, really. If it's an 8-week scenario, that's kind of what we're looking at here. That's sort of what we're looking at. Yeah, it was initially said after the game 6 to 8 weeks, and then Matt Law put a report out saying there's going to be another yesterday, saying there's going to be another scan in the next 48 hours because there are fears that he might be out for longer. So we're waiting basically. We're waiting. We're waiting, and that's all we can do. That's all we can do. It's not off that Palace are struggling to find a replacement right now. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. But yeah, it's always disappointing when you sort of feel like you're light at the end of the window. It is always disappointing. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, it's not. No, it's in that central centre back role. He wasn't talking in general. He was talking about playing in the central centre back role. Yeah, we are prepared in midfield. We are prepared in midfield. Absolutely, we are. But we're not prepared in the centre forward position. That's the point that I'm making. We're not prepared. Because if one injury leaves you scrambling big time, you are not prepared. I don't understand why that's so difficult to understand. Yeah, set pieces have been great. Said it after the game on Saturday that we're looking really good from set pieces, and that's going to be a big weapon for us. It's going to be a big weapon for us. Yeah, of course I'd take Ademola Lookman. Absolutely, I'd take Lookman. No two ways about it. 100%, I'd be all over the Ademola Lookman deal. But again, that's not happening. It's not really what we're looking to do. It's not really what we're looking to do. So again, we have to look for something different. We have to go and look for something different. And to be honest, I do. This is where I feel for Maresca. This is where I feel for Maresca because he wanted another centre back. He didn't get it. I'm sure he would have wanted. I'm sure he wanted another forward. You know, and he got Buonanotte on loan. Is that what he wanted? I'm not sure. I think he'll be happy with a lot of the window, but I also think he'll be majorly disappointed with parts of it as well because he asked for specific things that he didn't get. He asked for specific things that he didn't get, and that's always a big disappointment when that happens. It's always a big disappointment. Chat, we are 25 likes away from 200. Keep smashing that like button. Run it up, chat. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Come on, people. Let's get this up over 200 likes and keep subscribing if you're new around here. Heading towards 18.4K. Let's run it up. Anyone know how long Palmer's out for? No, I mean, he should be back after the international break, apparently, but we don't really know. It's all been very coy on that front. It's all been very coy. No one seems to really know. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out at some point. I don't know when, but I guess we'll find out at some point how long he's out for. And the same with Liam Delap. I imagine once the transfer window is closed, sorry, we will see us. We'll find out more information on Delap. Dacho Fofana, in theory, can play for Chelsea again, but he absolutely won't be. Absolutely won't be. Look, he's been backed in this window to a point, I agree, but he's also been let down. He's also been let down. Both things can be true. Both things can be true. He has been backed, but he's also been let down in situations. You know, he's been let down. So that would be a concern for me. That would be a concern for me. Yeah, that is the case. That is the case. Yeah. So Jackson deal is an obligation. So it's a loan with an option, which becomes an obligation if Jackson plays a certain amount of games. As of yet, the appearances hasn't been specified. The appearances aren't specified yet. Yeah, I think not getting a centre back and a goalkeeper is not great. I'll be totally honest. It's not great not getting a centre back and a goalkeeper. We should have done that. We should have done that, but we haven't. So we've just got to hope that that doesn't do us in. We've got to hope it doesn't do us in, because if it does do us in, then we're in trouble. Hopefully West Ham. Hopefully West Ham, but I don't think so. Hopefully West Ham, but I don't see it. I personally don't see it. But just anywhere will do. Anywhere will do. As far as I'm concerned, he's just got to go somewhere. He's just got to go somewhere. But yeah, look, I guess for me, there's really only one word to describe the end of this window, and that's underwhelming. It's underwhelming. And I don't think that's outrageous to say. No, Lopez to Chelsea is not on. Not on. Not on. It's off. Yeah, West Ham to Disasi again, but again, it's not been confirmed. Not been confirmed at all. So we wait and see. I mean, there's nothing on Sterling either. And we've got 2 hours, 20 minutes of the window left. Nothing on Sterling. And to be honest, because it was left so late in the window, and because we're in a situation where there was literally no time to act, and because of the UEFA thing as well, it's very difficult for us to bring other players in. We're in a situation where it was only going to be loan signings. So we basically replaced Nicolas Jackson with Mark Guiu, which is a downgrade. You can dress it up however you want. That's a downgrade. I mean, yeah, West Ham are working on a deal for Disasi, but whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. I personally don't know. I personally don't see it, but you never know what the last few hours of the window might have in store for us. But I think we can say with confidence, it's not going to have any. It's not going to have any. What do you call it? Any incomings for us? No, Conrad Harder. No, it's not going to happen. That I cannot see that happening. That would be some turn up for the books if in the next 2 hours that was done. If that was actually done in 2 hours, I'd be amazed. I'd be absolutely amazed. But I can't see it personally. I think so. Although there was something this morning saying that there was a bit of a hold up with the deal. So I don't really know what's going on. Apparently there was a bit of a hold up with the deal, but we don't know for certain, chat. We don't know for certain. So we wait and see and wait and find out. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some of those. I'm sure there'll be some of those. Yeah, of course there will be. But I just feel underwhelmed by the end of this transfer window. I just feel underwhelmed, and I think it's okay. I think that's perfectly normal to feel that way. Perfectly normal to feel that way. But yeah, I mean, outgoings, George gone. We're still waiting for Sterling, Disasi, and Sterling, Disasi, Datro Fofana, and Chilwell. Those are the four that we're waiting for in terms of outgoings. We've got four left, four outgoings left. And in terms of incomings, I'm not. I don't think we're seeing any. I personally don't think we're seeing any, chat. Yeah, we need to get Sterling gone, but options are running out. I think we can take Fulham off the table for sure. I think we can take Fulham off the table for Sterling. West Ham, Crystal Palace. He ideally wants to stay in London. Otherwise, he's going to have to be looking at Turkey or Saudi Arabia as two windows that are still open. Those are the options that will be available to the likes of a Sterling and a Disasi. I just think we've put ourselves in a situation in certain positions on the pitch which could have been entirely avoidable. Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting one, chat. It's gonna be interesting. But you know, there's been a bit of action on deadline day. There's been a bit of action. Yeah, Villa got Sancho on loan, I believe. Poor squad planning. Yeah, I think it has been poor squad planning in certain areas. People are crashing out. It's not been a poor win of any stretch of the means. Yes, the end was a bit underwhelming. Yeah, I say areas we needed to address. I'd say that goalkeeper's not been dealt with, and I think we haven't addressed centre back. But it's not been a poor window. The window's not been horrendous, by the way. It's a disappointing and underwhelming end. That's all I will say. Disappointing and underwhelming end to the window. I think that's more than fair to say that. Yeah, the goalkeeper was there. The goalkeeper was there to be had. We could have signed Mike Mignan. We opted not to pay the money. And that's the disappointment. We'll see. Yeah, mental. I think Badiashile probably needs to go. I mean, could do with someone better than Badiashile as like a backup rotation option. Absolutely. I'm more than confident we still finish top 3, top 4. But yeah, you know, in terms of wanting more and in terms of closing the gap, we haven't really done that. We haven't really done that. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he played Pedro Neto down the middle more than he did Mark Guiu, like we saw last season. You know, he opted with Neto as a 9 rather than Guiu. I wonder if we're going to see this. I wonder if we're going to see the same again. Maybe we see the same again. I don't know. Um, I don't care about the shirt sponsor. That really doesn't bother me. Yeah, I mean, apparently some are saying that the Sterling move to Fulham is not totally dead. So maybe that might happen in the next couple of hours. Maybe that happens in the next couple of hours. I don't know. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting, chat. They said, I'm calling it. We not got any decent. You got Shim Waheka. Obviously, you know, the kid that played in the Conference League a bit last season. He's still very young, not really ready. Yeah, he's doing good at 21 level, but again, that Giu is ahead of him in terms of development. So yeah, no, there's not particularly any promising centre forwards coming out the academy that we can use. Unless they want two centre backs, but I don't think I see that being the case either. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting, chat. Very interesting. I would say no. I would say absolutely not. Yes, I think Santos will feature regularly this season. Is he going to start every week? No, he's not. But I think you'll see Santos feature fairly regularly. I think you'll see him feature fairly regularly, chat. And rightly so. I mean, that was a weird rogue bid, wasn't it, from Al Qudsiya that was reported earlier on Andre Santos. Strange. Bro, I don't think we're making any more signings. Yeah, and we never do particularly well away at Brentford. It must be said, we never do particularly well away at Brentford. But yeah, let's see. We will wait and see, guys. We will wait and see. We will wait and see. We will be there. We will absolutely be there. But Brentford obviously much depleted now. Well, yeah, Garnacho and Buonanotte I think were our last signings. I think those were the last signings. 2 hours remaining. Unless something appears out of nowhere, which seems unlikely, then yeah, I think we are done, chap. I think we absolutely are done. With our business. I think we're done with our business. He can play on the right hand side as well. He can play on the right as well. So yeah, I mean that's obviously a possibility. Also, we could stick him on the right. Nice one, brother. Big yourself up. Enjoy the rest of your day, bro. Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how this all pans out. I mean, as the old song goes, let it all work out. Let's see if it does work out. Let's see if it does work out, chat. But yeah, I think good window in general, but he just left feeling like you wanting a little bit more. He just left like you need a little bit more. You just feel like you need a bit more, and we just don't have that. But I think also as well, the UEFA situation's not helped us, but we knew about that anyway. We knew about that anyway. You know, we haven't. We knew about the UEFA situation, and we should have planned accordingly, and we didn't. We should have planned accordingly, and we didn't, chat. But it is what it is. We'll now be able to focus on the football on the pitch and hopefully consolidate our good start. Because we have made a good start. We've absolutely made a good start. And so, yeah, hopefully that can continue. Hopefully that can continue. Yeah, the deadline day hasn't been exciting, has it, chat? I mean, it's not been that exciting deadline day. You know, we were maybe expecting a little bit more, but we didn't get it. Yeah, I did see that window. I did see that video. Mad, isn't it? A bit of a mad one. Bit of a mad one. I like tossing. I like tossing, but I wouldn't want to be relying on him to start every single week throughout a season for us. But as a squad option, I've got no problem with it at all. No problem with it at all. Yeah, I think we're at that stage. I think we're absolutely at that stage. Yeah, the Jackson thing's done. Yeah, we've spoken about that. We do need to sell Disasi, yes. Yeah, bro, we were waiting for Osimhen, and we honestly thought Chelsea thought we'll just wait and wait and wait, and he'll just cave and lower his demands. We honestly thought that. That was literally our negotiating tactic. We thought, yeah, this guy will just give in. This guy will just give in. Yeah, we need to wait and see how long he's out for. But yeah, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Yeah, I still maintain I think we'll finish top 3 and we'll win a trophy for sure. But Lopez is not happening. Lopez is not happening. Yeah, if we can get Fofana fit and firing and playing on a regular basis, then that's going to be a huge help. That's going to be a huge help. Absolutely. Yeah, the league has got to be what we work towards. It has to be what we work towards, chat. It has to be what we work towards. Absolutely, I fully agree. It's got to be what we're working towards. Bro, John Duran's joined Fenerbahce on loan. Now, bro, there's going to be no others. All we're going to do now is hopefully find solutions for Disasi, Sterling, Chilwell. And other than that, there isn't going to be anything else. There's not going to be anything else. So what we've got now is what we're going to go in, is what we're going to go with until January. That is the squad. What we have now until January is the squad, chat. And we're going to have to make the best use of it we can, because that is the squad that we've got right now. That's the squad right now. No, bro, we're not. Bro, we're not signing a striker in 1 hour, 57 minutes. We're just not. We're just not. No. I'm not bothered about other clubs signing players today. My whole point is the end of the window has been underwhelming and disappointing, and I feel that we're light in centre forward with Delap's injury, and we didn't address a goalkeeper, and the manager wanted a centre back, and we didn't get him one. So those are my concerns with the window. Those are my concerns with the window. So we'll wait and see. I think we're clutching at straws here, bro. I think we're clutching at straws here. I personally don't see it. I personally do not see that happening. No. Yeah, we did. We did good business. We sold really well this window. We sold well this window, and we have bought some exciting players in. But and the squad's definitely better than it was last season. The squad's better than it was last season. We've got more depth in midfield. We've got more attacking depth. And I think we've got better quality. Chelsea haven't offered 55 million for Jurgen Strand Larsen. Why are we saying this? Why are we saying this? There's no bid for Strand Larsen. And Chelsea are not getting Strand Larsen. Yeah, I rate Strand Larsen as well. We're not getting him. We're not getting him. Absolutely, that is not happening, chat. Right, let's have one final flick through, guys. See if there's any news of. See if anything news has come out. No, I don't think so. Agreed, but it's gone now. Dovbyk, no, because I think Dovbyk and Santiago Gimenez is going to be a swap with AC Milan and Roma on that one. We got 1 hour 55 minutes until the window closes. 1 hour 55 minutes, chat. We sold well. We sold well this window, and you know, fair play to that. We've got really good deals, but we are slightly light. Let's just be perfectly real here. But yeah, you know, I'm not fuming with the window, but I do like the signings, Pedro, Hato, Delap, but it feels like whenever Chelsea have done well, we never push on. We never push on. And instead of going to another level and capitalising while we're at the top, we don't. You know, I'm sure we'll do well, but it could be better. And the standards should be the very, very best instead of just settling. And that's kind of what it feels like. I hope so. I hope so. How do you feel about Facundo? Let's see. Let's see. I mean, I don't really know how much he's going to play or what he's going to do, but we'll reserve judgment and we'll wait and see. We will reserve judgment and we'll wait and see, guys. But anyway, I think we're going to round this one out, chat. Push on to what? Please explain more. As in push on to challenging for league titles, for winning the biggest trophies possible. You know, that's what we should be aspiring to be doing. And it just feels like that's not the case. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'm going to round this one out. Big up to everyone. I don't think there's going to be anything major in this last 1 hour, 50 minutes of the window. I don't think any incomings are coming. And we might get a Sterling departure, a Disasi departure, and a Chilwell departure. Other than that, I don't think anything else is happening. So, chat, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for all the support throughout the summer window. It's been massive on the channel. There's been big growth. Appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in throughout the summer window. It's been fantastic. The shows have been great. There's been loads going on. It's been great, people. It's been brilliant. Big up to all of you for the support. Big up to everyone in the community. Much love as always, guys. Really appreciate each and every single one of you. Appreciate everyone in the chat. All the support doesn't go unnoticed. I'd say it's been a good summer, guys. It's been a good summer. The window is closing imminently. It's been a good summer. I appreciate all the support. We'll be back tomorrow. By the way, I'm not disappearing until the transfer window opens. We will be back tomorrow. I'll try and get a panel together for a review of the transfer window and kind of just where we are right now. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, guys, massive love. Appreciate all of the support. Go and enjoy the rest of the window. As in, yeah, I'm rounding out now because there's nothing else happening. And I've got a few bits that I need to do. But we'll be back tomorrow with a review of the window, discussing it. So yeah, big love for the support. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of the deadline day. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Love for all the support. Please smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you lot tomorrow. Up the Chelsea. And we are out of here. Peace.